Few people expected the Pittsburgh Pirates to win the National League East in 1990. Even fewer thought they'd repeat in 91. They should have known better. Back-to-back BUCS, the 1991 Pittsburgh Pirates. The defense of the Eastern Division crown began at spring training in Bradenton, Florida. For the Pirates, a spring to remember, somewhat for the wrong reasons. Critics found chinks in the Pirate armor, such as the departure of a key player. Sid Bream had become an Atlanta Brave. Other players had left as well. Some key players who stayed, critics said, might have their seasons disrupted by the effects of salary arbitration. The Pirate armor seemed paper thin when a well-publicized shouting match took place between Barry Bonds and Jim Leyland. To their credit, though, the Pirates stayed focused.
Jim Leyland handles players as well as anybody in this game, and Barry Bonds is, I think, probably the best athlete in the National League, and he's a total pro when he crosses that white line to start a game, and I think both of them reacted to a situation that was building up, and when it was over with, both really went back to their right places.
This year in spring training, regardless of what happened or what anybody says about the Barry incident with Leland and the arbitration, losing those, me and Barry and Chico losing that, it made no difference. We get paid a lot of money to do our thing, and you only get a few chances at getting a ring, and you got to be prepared for that, and man, the BUCS were ready.
The city of Pittsburgh was ready too. A record crowd of more than 54,000 filled Three Rivers Stadium to salute the defending National League East champs. It became a night of frustration. The Pirates were one hit by Montreal and lost 7-0. It was their worst opening day loss in close to 50 years. The '89 division champion Chicago Cubs were expected to be the Pirates' greatest threat. The Cubs had vastly changed their personnel in the offseason by signing several high-paid free agents. It was their belief that buying stars from other teams would work better than developing their own players. Their philosophy appeared wise, at least at the outset. The Cubs sprinted out of the gate, winning 7 of their first 10 games. The new-look first-place Cubs seemed to be cruising along the high road. Though the BUCS followed closely behind, the signposts up ahead spelled trouble. Andy Van Slyke struggled to keep his average above 200. It was a struggle he'd waged the first 2 months of the season. Van Slyke was not alone. Barry Bonds had a more tangible adversary, the brick wall at Wrigley Field, into which he crashed on April 13th. His glove was great, his knee and thumb were bruised, but after 20 games, Bonds' batting average was a mere .162. 1990's league MVP was hurting, and so was its Cy Young Award winner. Doug Drabek lost 7 of his first 9 decisions. He only lost 6 times the year before. The Pirates desperately needed to be aroused from their dismal trance. Would they even hear it if opportunity knocked? The Cubs came to town in mid-April for a 4-game series. The BUCS dropped the opener, but in the next game they took a 3-0 lead into the 9th. Andre Dawson was called to pinch hit with the bases loaded and 2 out. Here's the pitch to Dawson, and Dawson with a fly ball to deep left center field. Bonds is back, and Dawson has hit a grand slam. The Cubs lead 4-3. The Pirates tied the game in the bottom of the 9th. Jeff King then faced Dave Smith with the winning run on third. Jeff swings and a dropper into center field. That's going to do it. The Buccos win it. Gary Rita scores. The Buccos come back and score 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth. The Pirates defeat the Chicago Cubs. The Pirates won big the next day, but took an early pounding in the series finale. The two teams started the day with the same record, but with a 7-2 lead after 7.5, the Cubs appeared likely to regain the upper hand. Showing great resiliency, the Pirates fought back, scoring 4 times in the bottom of the 8th to cut the deficit to a single run. Then, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, King was on second base. Gary Varsho was the pinch hitter. Chicago holding on tightly to a 1-run lead in the 9th. The 3-1 pitch. Varsho swings a ground ball, base hit into right field. Here comes King. He will score to tie the game. Varsho's on his way to second. The throw there, and he is safe. Gary Varsho with a 2-out double to tie the ball game at 7-7. Like 2 days earlier, the Cubs refused to go down easily. In the top of the 11th, Andre Dawson batted. Once again, the bases were loaded. Dawson with a fly ball into right center field, and that is trouble. Do you believe that? Andre Dawson has hit his 2nd grand slam of this series, and the Chicago Cubs are leading 12-7. A 5-run 11th inning deficit is enough to dampen even the brightest spirits. But this Pirate team conceded nothing. They chipped away. A walk here, a single there, valiantly trying to get back in the game. Bell with a line drive, base hit down the left field line. Lead will score. Wilkerson coming around third. He will score. And the Cubs lead is now 12-9. The Cubs still had the benefit of a 3-run cushion. The Bucs still had a long climb. It was time to prove they were long on heart. Bilecki's 2-0 pitch. Bond swings and a base hit into right field. Bell scores. It is a 12-11 Chicago Cubs lead. A second implausible comeback was now very much within reach. A walk loaded the bases with 1 out. The batter was Don Slott. Slott with a fly ball to center field. Going back is Walton, and the ball is over his head. Bonilla scores. Here comes Bonds. The Pirates have done it. The Pirates, who needed 5 in the bottom of the 11th inning, have scored 6, and they win it.
I'm real proud of that effort. It was a nasty day for both clubs to play. I'm real proud of that effort, I'll tell you that.
One of the things that I think it takes for a team to win throughout the course of the season is comeback wins like we had against Chicago here. I think that might have been one of the turning points of the season.
Call it the greatest extra inning comeback in baseball history. It certainly was the game of the year. There may have been some doubts about the Pirates' character, not anymore. Emotional drama was now evident off the field as well. Everyone took part in a clubhouse basketball tournament set up with brackets just like the NCAA Final Four. It was an around-the-world competition. To win, you have to make the most shots from different areas on the court. Here's Marv Albert with the play-by-play.
Thanks, Lenny. In the first quarterfinal, it's Bobby Bonilla against Mike LaVaglia. Bonilla rims the basket. Spanky with a shot at the win. Yes!
The University of New Hampshire Wildcats, the first team in the Final Four. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. University of New Hampshire Wildcats.
Here is Milt May versus Andy Van Slyke.
I'm going to win this game. I just know it.
The action is riveting. Van Slyke seems ready to snap like a breadstick.
You the worst rebounder I've ever seen. Hey. I'm on a roll, and you can't rebound the ball. One shot's all it takes.
Van Slyke needs this to advance, and he puts it home for St. Louis University.
Pelicans! Walk through there. I got a protest. The Pelicans!
Billy, you ready?
I told you I was going to get in that Final Four.
Now check out the soft touch of Barry Bonds, who's in the third quarterfinal against bullpen catcher Tony Liska. Tony needs to hit this shot to force overtime.
Give me some!
Now here's Bill Landrum against Curtis Wilkerson. It's good. And now Wilkerson from deep, nothing but net. He needs one more for the win.
Hey. What? Back up, man. Get off my client, man. What's happening? Hey, come here.
And like Dr. J, he needs room to operate. This for a spot in the Final Four. Yes! Now, no cameras are allowed on the Final Four. Fortunately, we've obtained pirated video from Gary Varshow's camcorder.
You don't want to play me.
I want you, Andy.
You don't want me.
Yes, I do.
You don't want me.
Yes, I do.
Boy, you got a good chance of getting me.
Wilkerson needs this shot and another to advance. He has done it. Wilkerson eliminates Van Slyke and moves on to the finals. He will face the dangerous Mike LaVallia. So it has come down to this. Spanky needs to make this shot to stay alive. It is over. Pandemonium has broken loose. There's a new round-the-world king in Pittsburgh, and it is Curtis Wilkerson. An amazing performance. Lanny, back to you.
Thank you, Marv. Jim Leyland's embracing of clubhouse basketball is another example of his special style of leadership. His players clearly approve.
One of the things that makes Jim such a great manager is that he keeps such a relaxed atmosphere around the clubhouse.
Jim Leyland has two rules, and that's is be prepared and have fun.
The number one key to successful people is to be able to go to work and enjoy their work. I think that's the way you get most production.
You hear him say he wants you to relax and have fun, but then he goes out and he's setting an example himself. And, you know, I think that carries over to the players.
I am an emotional person. I have a tendency, you know, to tear up now and then. You know, I kid everybody about when I came here being Jim Who, and now my wife says, now you're Jim Boo-Hoo. So it's not like an instant thing where I'm so happy I'm crying. It's just that, like, I have flashbacks of coming here for the first time and where this organization's come from and how proud everybody should be today. And I think that's the thing that gets to me probably more than anything.
By the end of April, the Pirates were on track. They'd been in first place at the end of every month since April of 1990. Rookie Orlando Merced had spent most of April trying to find a spot in the lineup. In early May, he got a shot at playing first base. He was impressive both in the field and at the plate. Merced helped replace someone not easily replaceable, Sid Bream, the Pirates' regular first baseman for the past 5 years. On May 10th, Bream made a dramatic return to Three Rivers Stadium, homering in his first game back. But that same night, Merced homered too. Bream still lives in Pittsburgh, but Orlando Merced now resides at first base.
Sid was a big part of the reason why we won last year, but I think Orlando is making us forget Sid Bream, you know, quite quickly.
With the Pirates' big guns firing blanks, Merced was welcomed artillery, hitting .362 in his first 18 games. He helped put the BUCS in first place and keep them there as well. First-place teams need first-rate arms. That's where John Smiley fit in. Early in the season, he was nearly unhittable. What a performance by John Smiley. He tosses his second career one-hitter. Credit Smiley's 8-1 start to a new pitch.
He came in determined, came in with a new pitch, a good curveball that he'd worked on in the offseason, and it's really shown up in his performance out on the field.
Just as Merced provided the offense with an unexpected boost, Smiley did the same for the starting rotation, especially with Doug Drabek off to his dismal start. Displaying a newfound aggressiveness, Smiley won a Major League high 20 games in '91. He went to great lengths for his team. The results were excellent. He won 7 more games than his previous career high. That's news enough to make you and him, well, smile. On May 25th, the Penguins brought Pittsburgh the Stanley Cup. And thanks to Orlando Merced, the Pirates scored a coup of their own. Orlando Merced is at a 2-run homer to right center field, and the Buccos win it. The Pirates take the ball game from the Philadelphia Phillies in the bottom of the 11th inning. The Pirates swept the Phillies. Then it was off to St. Louis, where the BUCS broke loose for 23 runs in 3 games. On this road trip, though, pitching would steal the spotlight. Cy Young form replaced sighs of frustration when Doug Drabek one-hit the Cardinals. Doug went 13-7 from May 27th on. 2 days later, Zane Smith found the same groove. Ground ball to short, this should do it. Jay Bell, the flip to lean, the force out on Smith, and the ball game is over. Zane Smith has pitched a one-hit shutout, and the Buccos run their winning streak to 6 games. Next up, Philadelphia, where the BUCS took the fight out of the Phils. Another 3-game carpet sweep resulted in the team's longest winning streak of the season, 9 games. By the beginning of June, the Pirates had asserted themselves as the team to beat in the National League East. In late June, things again got very sticky when the Cubs returned to Three Rivers. After dropping the series opener, the Pirates bounced back. Jay Bell went 5 for 5, the first such performance of his career. The result was a 7-6 Pittsburgh win. Hard as they might try, the Cubs will never forget that sensational 13-12 game in April. They had this game virtually wrapped up as well, with a 3-0 lead after 8 1/3 innings. It would take another miracle for the Pirates to win this one. Shutting out the Pirates for 8 1/3, though, isn't enough. Any Cub fan will attest to that. The BUCS rallied for a 3-3 tie. The bases were loaded with 2 outs. 3-3, the ball gets away, and on a wild pitch, Bonds will score, and the Pirates win the game. Another great Pirate come-from-behind victory. 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to win the ball game. The Pirates won many games this year, not just on the strength of the middle of their lineup, but the middle of their defense. Call them pivotal, for the BUCS couldn't have won without them.
Ground ball, left side, backhanded by Jay Bell. Off-balance throw, he got him.
Jay's just had a tremendous year. He's one of the more versatile players on our ball club. He can beat you in a lot of ways, and that's probably his #1 asset, is that he comes to the park every day and he's ready to beat the other team.
They work every day. They take a lot of ground balls, and they make it look easy, but that's just because they're good. They put a lot of hard work into it.
Leaned, fires to first base, and he got him. What a great play by Chico.
Chico has been a great friend for the past 5 years. I've tried to watch him as a role model. When you see a guy like Chico go out and have such a good time playing the game every single day, he's definitely an influence on you. Chico and I have turned into a very solid double play combination. When you turn around and look in the outfield and you see Andy Van Slyke out there, Andy is, in my mind, the best center fielder all around in baseball.
Into center field, Andy makes a great catch and saves a run.
The most important thing in playing the outfield is wanting the ball hit to you. And if you do want the ball hit to you, say, hey, I gotta make a great catch here.
Van Slyke on his horse, and Andy catches it.
Andy's a total package. I mean, he's defense, offense, base runner.
I enjoy doing everything on the field. I mean, I love making a good catch. I love throwing somebody out the plate. I enjoy the game from the first inning to 9th, and hopefully help the team in every aspect.
I see Andy day in, day out, and see the things that he does, and it's just amazing. The 2 guys behind the plate, Don Slott and Mike LaValliere, have just been wonders to the pitching staff.
What makes them good catchers is they quickly learn the pitchers. You know, with those guys, you're not scared to bounce a curveball in the dirt with the man on third. When you have that kind of confidence, it just takes a lot of pressure off the pitcher.
Spank's an outstanding guy. You know, he's a player that's really made me a better catcher. He's a guy that's helped me behind the plate. And we just kind of go back and forth on, you know, if he has a question about a guy, I might give him a suggestion and vice versa. I think it's made us both better players.
To be a contender, I think that you have to be strong at the middle. You have to be strong everywhere, but I think that most of all, you have to be strong at the middle.
The Pirates' return to excellence was due in part to the contributions of Bobby Bonilla. Just like he turns around at the plate, he helped turn Pittsburgh into a winning baseball town. He did it with his power. Bobby swings in a fly ball to deep left field. Go ball! Get out of here! and with his poise, whether at the hot corner or in hot pursuit in right field. Try and count the ways he's beaten teams.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good.
Always a popular player, he again gave the fans much to cheer about. A .302 average and 100 RBIs, all amidst never-ending questions of his future plans.
Bobby Bonilla is one of the premier players in the game now, and we knew that that attention was going to be there all year. And I think we just made up our mind that, hey, we know it's there, but it doesn't interfere with what we're doing on the field. And I thought Bobby handled that really well, and consequently, he's had another outstanding year.
In 1991, Bobby became only the 18th switch hitter ever to hit 100 career home runs. And he represented the Pirates in the All-Star game for a 4th consecutive year. Commitment to the community is inherent in the Pirates. Through Pirate Charities, the team makes dramatic contributions. Pirate Charities helps many organizations, most of which are concerned about the welfare of children, such as the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
It's for a good organization that does some wonderful things for kids that may not have ever gotten a chance to do their one wish. And you know, it's something that brings a smile to their face and to their family's face, and I feel very fortunate in participating in it.
Wave at the camera.
Wave.
There you go.
He's a third baseman, too.
Hey, Mark, what's happening? Nothing.
I think it's important that players can participate in the community, and I think it's important to have some players with moral fiber, and I think we have a lot of that on our ball club. It just lends to the fact that our players can show our fans a little bit that they care about them, because our fans have shown they care about us.
A 10-game winning streak by the New York Mets vaulted them into second place at the All-Star break. That's as close as they'd get. Following the All-Star break, the Pirates traveled to Cincinnati, the site where the 1990 season sadly ended. The stakes were different, but would the results be? In last year's playoffs, the Pirates' offense deserted them. This time, it was present and accounted for.
And a ball ripped to right field. This one going, gone.
In October 1990, Andy Van Slyke was gunned down at third, a crucial play. This time, the gun was in the other hand.
And he's got a chance to throw him out. Got him!
In the 90 League Championship Series, the Reds seemed to catch everything. In July of '91, the Pirates had a similar encounter. The Reds left an indelible impression on the Pirates in 1990. But in July of '91, Bob Patterson and 24 of his closest friends exorcised that haunting memory with a crushing 4-game sweep of the defending world champions. By July, it was evident that the Pirates were winning thanks to contributions from their entire roster. Bob Walk won 9 games for the Pirates, despite spending 66 days on the disabled list. Randy Tomlin owned the month of July. He tossed back-to-back shutouts and went 3-0 with an earned run average below 1. The starters pitched with great confidence, knowing they had an exceptional bullpen ready to back them up. Bill Landrum recorded saves in his first 15 opportunities. He led the team in saves and appearances while moving into 3rd place on the BUCS all-time save list. Stan Belinda was 2nd on the staff in appearances. At one point, he went 2.5 months without allowing a run at Three Rivers. One of the BUCS' most valuable reserves was Gary Varsho, whose home run July 16th capped off a 7-game winning streak. Varsho chipped in with his glove as well.
Varsho coming on. He does! He caught it! What a catch by
Barry Reedus started 43 games for the BUCS at 3 different positions. He hit a crushing blow against the Braves in late July.
It goes back. It is gone. A grand slam.
Sure, the Pirates have some superstars, but their strength comes directly from their depth.
I believe that the Pirates are a team, and I think that that team consists of 25 players doing their job during the course of the ball game.
Cecil Espy with a 2-out, 2-run single to center field.
It seemed like everybody would step in from time to time and pick up the slack for somebody.
Prince slings it. It's a fly ball to deep left field. Go ball. Get out of here. It's gone. Tommy Prince hits a home run.
There are individual combats in baseball, pitcher versus hitter and vice versa. But basically, everything revolves around the team.
And the pitch swung on a drive to left field. Going back is Braggs. It's gone.
You know, there's no telling when you may need that 1 or 2 guys that don't get many at bats or don't get to pitch much.
So good work by Heaton. And now it's up to Kipper. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Struck him out.
Jim Leland and the rest of the coaches have done a good job at getting everybody involved in the game, giving them some time, playing time, and you know, not letting them sit there and be cold.
Everybody on this team has made some significant contribution to us being able to win the East this year.
One young man from Pittsburgh took center stage in July despite at least one skeptical teammate.
He hadn't done anything yet. Why do you have the camera on him? He hasn't done a thing yet. Nothing!
Van Slyke couldn't get John Wehner out of the picture. On July 23rd, the Braves simply couldn't get him out.
Line drive base hit. John Wehner is 5 for 5.
A night to treasure for his family and friends, and especially for a 24-year-old line driving machine. A week after his 5-hit performance, Wehner went 4 for 4. Wearing the Pirate uniform is a real thrill for John. Of course, growing up in Pittsburgh, he'd worn it before.
I think they were pajamas, but I didn't use them as pajamas. I wore them out around the neighborhood. I wore them once to school. And I remember, and it was 2nd grade, I think, and I was in school with wearing pajamas, and I never heard the end of it.
Wehner displayed his skills with the glove before an injury ended his season in late August. Nonetheless, he emerged as a real fan favorite.
This is Pittsburgh's boy right here, John Jim Thorpe Wehner. John Jim Thorpe Wehner, Pittsburgh's boy right here.
Is that a trophy up there in Wehner's locker? It's popped up in many lockers. It must be the Sammy Award, named for former Pirate Sammy Khalifa.
The Sammy Award was an award given to the player that made a mistake that was kind of a bonehead play during a game that we won.
Sammy first showed up in Philadelphia. It didn't go to Bobby Bowe. Instead, it went to the manager.
I got the debut of the Sammy Award in Philadelphia when Bobby Bonilla was in a pretty heated argument with umpire Frank Pulley, and I was in the bathroom. So I got out a little late and literally, I guess, got caught with my pants down.
Give a Sammy to the skipper.
I walked out on the field without my glove. I walked out and I handed Chico his glove, and I handed Steve Buchel his, and all of a sudden I looked down and I didn't have any more gloves, so I had to walk back in and get my glove and come back out to the field. So that was one of them.
Give a Sammy to the shortstop. The president of the Sammies, Mr. Lloyd McClendon.
Let me explain this to you.
Explain why you didn't get it.
I don't have to explain nothing because I'm the president. I give it out, whatever I say goes. If you don't like it, then you can get it tomorrow.
Sammy's legacy is undoubtedly in good hands. Sammy himself is now in John Smiley's hand. Care to give an acceptance speech, John? Maybe next year, when we'll be back with more of the Sammy Awards. It's sometimes known as Hotlanta, and in late July, the Braves did make the Pirates sweat. Lots of award-winning performances here, but all by the Braves. Merced coming to the plate, and Nixon is safe. Back-to-back home runs. Atlanta leads 5-2. 4 games, 4 Pirate losses. The next stop, St. Louis, and 3 more losses. 3-3, ninth inning, bases loaded, 1 out. Remember, the Sammy Award was only given out after a win. It began to gather a lot of dust.
Drive deep to left, and this was going to end it. Todd Zeile wins it with an upper deck home run.
The worst streak of the year, 8 straight losses and 11 of 13. More importantly, the Cardinals' challenge was now very much for real. When the Cardinals came to town a week later, their goal was to steal the Pirates' throne. Ozzie Smith and Todd Zeile played the hero roles as St. Louis won the first of a 4-game series. The Pirate lead had been whittled down to just 4 games. At this point, the Pirates' defense of their title began in earnest. With the division on the line, it was time to refocus. After a relatively easy win, Roger Mason won a tight game thanks to some fine defensive help. Watch out, St. Louis. The Pirates were fighting back. Barry Bonds homered the next night to give the BUCS a 2-1 lead in the 7th. A win here would knock the Cardinals 7 games off the pace. But the game went into extra innings. Pena with a drive to deep left field, and the St. Louis Cardinals have a 3-2 lead in the 11th inning. This was a game the Pirates badly wanted to win. The Cards were just 3 outs away from a series split at a 5-game deficit. Baseball's best closer, Lee Smith, would face the heart of the Pirate order.
Andy popped up, and I took him to 3-2 and got a base hit.
And a base hit to right field. The BUCS have the tying run on base.
And then I'm watching the whole thing develop, and I'm going, you know, if BB can work the count, he's going to get him.
3-2 St. Louis in the bottom of the 11th inning. Ball 1.
I sat there, and he threw me a fastball, and I didn't even see it. And I said, oh, my God, I hope he doesn't throw me another fastball because I didn't even see it. And then I think it was like 2-2 or something, and I said, I think he's going to throw me a changeup. And he did.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3, and it's a full count.
Then I said, oh, whew, I'm glad it was a ball. And then I got up there and I said, you know, I don't think he's going to throw me a fastball. You know, he has that slider, and he hasn't thrown it yet, and I think it's going to be a slider. And I just sat right on it, and it was a slider, and I hit it.
Bonilla is running on the payoff pitch. Bonds with a drive, deep right field. Go ball! It's gone! And the Pirates winning in the bottom of the 11th inning.
It's just a split moment of a dream that you just think about when you're a kid. You sit there and you, man, 3-2, bases loaded or something, but most of the time you never end up at the ballpark. You're always somewhere trying to get to the ballpark, and this time I was there in a situation, had the opportunity to do it, and I did it.
That just goes to show the talent that our left fielder really has. You know, he's the best in the game today. I mean, you know, you have Canseco and you have Fielder and Ricky Henderson, but this man does it all around. And he's got the complete package.
He may not quite be Superman, but on a baseball field, Barry Bonds may be as close as you'll get. In '91, he again showed that though he's not made of steel, he's made of something awfully special. He earned his 2nd consecutive Gold Glove award. Barry Bonds going back, and Bonds on the warning track, and Barry makes it over the shoulder. Great catch in left center. Green with a ground ball, base hit into left field. Charlie Hayes around third. Barry Bonds is thrown to the plate. LeValliere makes the tag, and he's out.
On the warning track, he makes the catch and climbs halfway up the outfield wall.
He shows the same fancy footwork on the base paths. He steps around the catcher, and he's safe. Bonds scores. The game is tied 4-4.
Oh, what a move. What a move by Barry Bonds.
A pitcher's nightmare, he led the team with 43 stolen bases.
There goes Berry, pitch for a strike. The throw by Oliver, and they won't get Berry.
Hitting, it's the name of the game, and almost nobody hits like Barry Bonds. 25 home runs, 116 RBIs. Bonds put aside his early season problems and fit right in with the rest of the club.
My team respects me, and my manager respects me. And what I do between the lines, they know I do better than I do the best. So they respect me, and that has been the best positive thing that I've had in '91.
Another remarkable season for one of baseball's best all-around players. In late August, the Pirates left home for the left coast, their final visit to California. The home of Dodger Blue meant 2 more wins for the black and gold. The Pirates start this 8-game road trip with a win over the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Buccos beat LA, and there was no doubt about it. Next stop, San Diego. The Pirates remained in command, tasting more victories, among other things. Don Slott's lone home run of the year beat the Padres in 12 as the Bucs took 2 out of 3 in San Diego. They also won a third baseman that night, Steve Buchel, in a trade with Texas. Up the road in San Francisco, the Bucs swept 3 from the Giants. Buchel's bat came in handy right away. A game-winning hit one day and a home run the next. Steve still needed to work on Pirate congratulation techniques. Other than that, it was a prosperous trip.
Roger Mason with the save. The Bucs have the win, and the West Coast road trip comes to an end. The Pirates lead by 8.5 games.
By September 4th, the lead grew to 9 games. It would soon be time to flirt with 2 enchanting words: magic number. Anticipation turned to sorrow when John Hallahan, a member of the Pirate family for 50 years, and their equipment manager since 1957, passed away.
You know, he used to tell me every day, you know, he used to tell me, Bo, don't ever let that hard work go to waste. He used to tell me that all the time, and then he used to give me 5 like this all the time, you know, with hoo-hoo, and I'll never forget it. He was special, you know. Bo, never let that hard work go to waste.
Between night games in Philadelphia, the Pirates returned to Pittsburgh to pay their final respects to Hooley. The Pirate Clubhouse has been named in his honor. The Pirates will always remember Hooley, but they now had to think about the Cardinals. With the magic number down to 8, Steve Buchel helped the Pirates erase a 5-run deficit.
There's a drive to left field. Going, gone! The Bucs have tied the game at 5.
The Cardinals loaded the bases with 2 outs in the 8th, but Roger Mason's amazing play kept them from scoring. In the 9th, Cecil Espy delivered the game winner. Frazier's pitch, Espy pops it into left field. Going back is Thompson. Merced tagging at third. Thompson makes the catch. Here comes Orlando. The throw to the plate. Orlando slides and scores. The Pirates won into the bottom 9th inning. The Buccos beat the Cardinals and reduced the magic number to 6. And there was no doubt about it. The magic number fell to 4 the next night. Lee Smith pitching. Bases loaded, tie game. Curtis Wilkerson at the plate. A grand slam home run to win it. And yet another example of the entire roster making big contributions. Another dramatic win for the Buccos. Back in the clubhouse, you couldn't help but look up to Wilkerson.
You're my hero! You're my hero!
Hey, great job.
With the magic number down to 1, a hot time was in the forecast. Who better to predict the clinch day weather than KDKA's guest weatherman, Andy Van Slyke?
Now, do you want me to be out here to hold your hand, or do you want to take it?
No. I'll take the ball. No.
Good.
All right. The winds are calm, 60% humidity, barometer is 30.31. The PSI, nobody cares, we're not going to take care of that. All right, up in Bradford, they're already at 34 degrees, 34 degrees. And Cleveland, let's forget Cleveland, nobody cares about Cleveland. In the East Coast, we have another high pressure, which is producing the clearing. And what you got is a circular motion.
Come back this way. We didn't bring you here to stand off camera. They want to see you. Okay, now, okay. There you go.
And you have the circular motion, which will bring southerly winds up north and will produce maybe some showers tomorrow night. Definitely Monday. Bring these.
Yeah.
Umbrellas. And some showers down in Florida. All right, tomorrow, a.m. Sunshine, and then as the game progresses, hopefully tomorrow, our clincher. Yeah. So all those folks who are going to stay home and watch the Steelers, don't do that. Come to the ballpark tomorrow. Forget the Steelers. Who cares? We're going to have it clinched. Nobody's going to care about the weather anyway.
That's right. Tomorrow, the magic number is, where are we?
0, after we win.
After tomorrow.
That's clincher tomorrow.
Partly cloudy today, just like I called it.
The weather was inconsequential. Pirate fans came to Three Rivers with just one thing on their minds. Doug Drabek had pitched the 1990 clincher. After 6 innings, history seemed to be repeating itself. Philadelphia's Ron Jones was up with a man on in the 7th. The Pirates led 2-1.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Jones, and a fly ball to right center field. Bobby Bonilla going back to the warning track, and the ball is off the wall. Bonilla plays to Karam. Fletcher around third. He's going to try to score. The relay to the plate from Lean is off the mark, but Don Swat reaches back and gets the runner.
Move ahead to the 9th. The BUCS still lead 2-1. Wes Chamberlain is on third with 2 outs.
Runner at third. Drabek's pitch. And Hayes swings and misses. The ball game is over, and the Pirates have won the National League Eastern Division Championship. They become the first team in 13 years to win back-to-back division titles in the National League. And there is no doubt about it. There's manager Jim Leland, who has just moved away from the pack that is behind the mound. Leland walking off the field. Knowing Jimmy as I do, this has to be another very emotional day for him.
This is what it's all about. They said nobody repeated. A lot of people thought we were fluke. I don't know what's going to happen from here on in, but I don't think anybody, and I don't want to get dramatic, but I don't think anybody can be proud of a team that I can. Cut off play, you saw it all today. You saw why they're the Eastern Division champs today. I guess my famous line since about 2 years ago still holds intact. I think when I took this job, there weren't many people that wanted it, but there's a lot of guys that like to have this job today. I'm proud of that. When I came here, I gave my first talk to the front office, and I felt that my belief is what you want to do is you want to build an organization that's proud every year, not 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 10. You want to build one that people look up to on a consistent basis. I think we've done that, and I can only hope that we can keep that organization going in the same direction.
There was reason to celebrate. A hard-fought title had been won. The Pittsburgh Pirates, champions of the National League Eastern Division.
I'll be having a fling with a a pretty young thing till early morning. Knowing tomorrow I'll wake up with you on my mind.
All the Pirates needed now was a playoff opponent. In a race that went down to the wire, the Atlanta Braves won the National League West. The playoffs were back in Pittsburgh. Game 1 at Three River Stadium. Doug Drabek was a most glorious vision to the record crowd, extinguishing Atlanta's explosive offense. Drabek was facing a very tough opponent, Atlanta's Tom Glavine. But Van Slyke got him early, putting the Pirates up to stay. Offense, pitching, great fans, throw in a little defense, and you've got a win in Game 1. But little did anyone know that this 8th inning sacrifice fly would be the last run scored by the Pirates at Three Rivers in '91. In the 6th inning of Game 1, Doug Drabek injured his hamstring running the bases. He would not pitch again until Game 6. Baseball's largest postseason crowd packed Three Rivers for Game 2. It didn't get many opportunities to be heard. The game was scoreless in the 6th when Atlanta's Mark Lemke began his postseason heroics. This chopper eluded Steve Buchel, scoring Dave Justice with the Braves' only run. 21-year-old Steve Avery made that single run hold up. He shut down the Pirates to even the series. In Atlanta, the Pirates were unfazed by the frenzied Brave chants. They actually seemed to enjoy them. The chop certainly had no effect on Orlando Merced, who homered on the very first pitch of the game. The bottom of the inning didn't go as well. Neither did the rest of the game.
Over the head of the net. Olsen hits it in a deep left field. Might go!
Final score, Atlanta 10, Pittsburgh 3. The locals were chopping again the next night.
Double chop. This is gonna hex the Pirates.
That star couldn't really predict what would happen under the stars. Jane Fonda must have been pleased, though, when Randy Tomlin gave up 2 runs in the first inning. But he shut down the Braves over the next 5 with an exclamation point. With the game tied 2-2 in the 10th, Mike LaValliere stroked a pinch hit single, putting the Pirates ahead. Stan Belinda got the win, as the Pirates evened the series at 2 games apiece. There was more to cheer about in Game 5, especially in the 4th inning, which saw several strange plays, this being the strangest.
1-0 Atlanta, but I think he missed third base. He missed third base, and they're going to call him out. They step on third. Out is the call at third base.
It was an incredible turn of events. Though the Pirates scored only once, it was enough. Zane Smith pitched brilliantly into the 8th. From there, he got relief help from Roger Mason, who got the last 4 outs. The Pirates moved to within 1 win of the pennant. Back at Three Rivers, the Pirates drew their 3rd straight crowd of over 54,000. They watched Steve Avery spin more magic. The Pirates answered with a courageous complete game effort by Doug Drabek. Down 1-0 in the 9th, the tying run was on 3rd with 2 outs.
Got him! Got him!
A tough ending for Game 6, and an even tougher beginning for Game 7. In the first inning, Jim Leland had to remove John Smiley, who was roughed up for 3 runs. the Pirates tried to come back.
The set up to middle. Another hit.
Pirates back at you. Jay Bell now with 11 hits in the series.
Did he hit it? And strike came within a whisker.
From that point on, the Pirates went down quietly. The game and their season were over.
I'm not ashamed of anything. And it's a great season. I mean, we didn't finish the whole thing, though, but we don't have anything to be ashamed of.
This team has nothing to be ashamed of. Had a heck of a year, and hey, sometimes you come out on the short end, and it's disappointing, but it was a great year. There's a lot of positives to fall back on.
The franchise has had a remarkable turnaround the last 5 years, and I think the way the parity of talent is in the big leagues, who's to say that the Pirates won't be there again while I'm here, and I hope it happens again, because we still have a lot of young players who can play this game, and it's no secret Bobby probably won't be here next year, but that doesn't mean we can't be competitive next year, and that's all you want from your club. You want your club to be competitive.
We had the opportunity to do it 2 years in a row. You know, we're going to look ahead to do it 3 times in a row, and we're going to keep going, because I'm not going to quit, and I don't think anybody else in here is going to quit.
The Pirates have many reasons to smile. They worked hard, attaining the best record in baseball. They won the division a second straight time, which hadn't been done in 13 years. They had outstanding fan support. A record 2 million plus came out. All of Pittsburgh has reason to smile.
Hey, we're proud to be a Pittsburgh Pirate fan. To me, that's our goal. That's our responsibility. That when somebody talks about the Pittsburgh Pirates and talks about Pittsburgh in general, they say, hey, I'm not only proud to be a Pittsburgher, but I'm proud to be a Pirate fan.